Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to our Momentum AI launch webinar today. My name is Khurram Hussain. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Momentum AMP. Before I start, I'd just like to cover some housekeeping items, before we get into it. Today's webinar is moderated. Chat is enabled. So use the chat if you have any issues. If you have questions about a specific topic, please use raise your hand and we'll enable your microphone. And for that, also use the Q&A, panel. You'll see that option on your Zoom. We've enabled that. So any questions need to go in Q&A. And if you have any general comments or anything, please share that in the chat. I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. I'll keep the time. We have a lot to show you and discuss. And also, we want to give you the time for Q&A. So we'll try to, keep things brief in certain areas. Joining us in today's webinar is our president, Michael Libor. We have Caden Stevens, our head of client relations. We have Craig Kilroy, who's our director of our managed professional services division. And we have Steve Anderson, who probably needs no introduction, insurance and technology thought leader right now, also a part of our team. All right, so as you may or may not know or have seen, yesterday we actually launched our foray into AI, as part of our AMS offering. The goal of Momentum AI is to really employee augmentation and not replacement. We're equipping your team with powerful AI-driven tools that work alongside, handling with your employees, handling repetitive tasks, surfacing insights faster, and automating workflows, some of these areas. And the benefits are really kind of like threefold, like more efficiency. So where AI can handle routine tasks, more effective, so kind of giving you the insights that you may not have previously to make smarter decisions, and more value. So freeing up time for your people to focus on valuable tasks where AI kind of does the grunt work. I'd like to show you, one quick slide where, how we're thinking about AI. So let me just share my screen. So we've kind of divided, this into about 5 key areas. Let me just move that out. We have internal best practices. That's how we're utilizing AI internally, whether it's for operations, whether it's for sales, whether it's for marketing. Why am I bringing up this here? Because I think we believe that we're in this journey together. So we would really want to share, what we're doing internally to make our business more efficient. We are also running a business. So we definitely want to share those best practices with you. So these may not be specifically part of any of our products directly, but we think that this is something valuable that we would like to share with our clients and partners. Then we have a category of agents, which is really going to be the future of workflow. So autonomous entities, which will either execute a single task or work together with multiple agents to perform several steps in a task, essentially a process. Then we have like the point tools and widgets, where you want to do something very straightforward, like scanning a document, for example. That's another bucket. We have a specific area for that, what we call Toolbox, which is now pretty much AI powered in a lot of those applications. Then there's an area around guiding and support. So this is really about helping you utilize all the products that Momentum AMP has to offer as a platform. How do I get the most out of it? How to, providing support, but also kind of onboarding you in it and maximizing the potential of all the technology that we have to offer. And lastly, it's really about data, reporting, and dashboards. So being able to surface like insights, the AMS is really at the core of our platform. There's a lot of information out there. We think AI unleashes a huge potential to kind of give you insights that you previously may have had to, do a lot of work, like, build reports or, have another solution on top of it. But imagine just asking, simple questions via chat interface and getting the answers of all those, challenges that you think, hey, I need an answer to this right now. So these are the 5 key areas, and some of what you'll be seeing today in our demos, will fall into one of these categories. At this point, I'd like to give the floor to Michael Libor to kind of, highlight our vision as a company and where we're going.
Thanks, Khurram. I'm going to be very brief, which is rare for me, but we have a lot of really smart people and really intelligent people, subject matter experts on insurance and AI, which is a very rare blend. And I want to make sure we leave as much time for them as possible. I just want to kind of mention a few very high-level overarching thoughts and ideas. One is, this is literally day one as far as Momentum is concerned and our AI journey. And, under the header of like done is better than perfect, we had a choice. We could have waited a significant period of time and made sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted, but we wanted to make sure that together we could launch this and put something in front of you where you could start taking advantage of AI. So please understand that this is a learning process for all of us. And we're at the very early stages of developing this product. And we really want this to be collaborative. We want your feedback. We want you to tell us how we could be improving the product and making it better. And if something is perhaps not enterprise level when you see it, call us, let us know, and we're going to keep building it together. And it was a very conscientious decision that was made, and we hope you understand that. And we really genuinely want to collaborate with you on the iteration and the building of this product, because it's going to be a long journey together. As you guys all know, we've rebranded from Now Certs, which was an AMS, to Momentum AMP, Agency Management Platform. It wasn't just a cute name. There's real meaning and significance behind it. We are a platform. AMS is our crown jewel, and it's a very strong product, but there is so much more that we do. We have a CRM, we have professional services, we have a lead exchange, we have a rater, and the list goes on, and I've left a couple out. But the point that I do want to make is that this AI conversation, AI is going to permeate everything we do. So please make sure, as you're learning about these new platforms and products, make sure that you ask how you could leverage AI within those business units and within those platforms. I want to stress something that Khurram mentioned. I know Steve Anderson is going to mention it, but Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, has a fabulous quote. And it really resonates with me personally. I talk about it all the time. AI is not going to replace humans, but humans that use AI will replace humans that do not use AI. And that is how we're looking at this. We want to empower you, the independent agent, with the AI tools to be able to do your job better and focus on the things that you want to spend time on and the things that you're good at. We personally do not believe that there's going to be this moment where agents are superfluous and irrelevant. We don't believe that to be the case, but we do want to empower you and arm you with the tools that you could be competitive with the biggest, most well-funded players that are out there. And that's a consistent theme that is going to prevail throughout today and our entire AI journey. And as we're learning this, we realize that we've gotten a lot of feedback that a lot of you guys, AI is this big mystery. You're hearing a lot about it. Something new is coming out every day. And at the end of the day, our goal is to make this digestible and easy for you. So we're kicking this off. We've launched a couple of products, which we're going to demonstrate shortly for you to learn. But we also want to make this as easy of a process as possible. And we want you to think of Momentum and Momentum AI as your destination for anything that you need as it pertains to AI for your agency. Not just how it works in the AMS. This is so much bigger than that. So for any function, and anyone out there who's listening or listens to this later, or if this message gets along, this is not just for our AMS customers. Anybody in the independent agent space that wants to avail themselves of AI, Momentum is the place where we want you to come. And we're building out this comprehensive platform where all the tools will be there, and it will integrate with varied and multiple systems across the insurance ecosystem. So I'm going to turn it over now back to Karam or to Caden. Let's get into it, and let's start looking at the first demos on how this could impact you day in, day out, and make you better at what you do. Thanks, everyone. There's a lot of you here. We really appreciate your joining us, and looking forward to collaborating in your feedback.
Thank you, Michael. So with this, we'll now get into the demonstration section. Caden, please go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karam and Michael. And just to reiterate what Michael said, I won't spend too much time going into a demo of all these items because we do have some brilliant minds on the call with us, and I really want to give them time. But I do want to show you what we've done, because although this is, like Michael iterated, yeah, I mean, it is an early release. It is an early version of our AI. I would argue that we made some pretty big strides with this release. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and jump into some of the presentation of some of the items we came out with this first release. So diving straight into it, you probably have already used or at least seen our basic support AI. For those of you that do not know what I'm talking about, really straight from within the Momentum interface, we can click on this wand, and it will bring up the support version of the AI. Now, this did get a enhancement as far as like how it's displayed, what type of data it returns, and just the overall, I would argue, how you use it. The interface has been improved quite a bit, but we really did take it to another level in this release. But where most of this release came in is, you probably saw our joke yesterday, our little April Fool's joke, where we branded it, we made it look like AI was sort of taking over. And then we forwarded you to this area and this landing page. I hope you guys had time to watch these videos, see this breakdown of everything. But let's go through some of the presentation. So jumping straight into this, I want to start by touching on the support AI just a little bit more, because within here, we can actually access the full support assistant. Now, the nice thing about the full support assistant is it can really adapt to any type of question you have. If it's insurance related, if it's Momentum related, it will provide an answer. And if you don't know where to begin, just go into here and click on a prompt. Click on an example prompt, and it will take you straight in and start answering and start providing solutions. On top of that, we are constantly teaching it more and more and more. Our whole team is basically taking our knowledge and putting it into a database so this AI can learn off of it. So it can, have the ability to make you all experts on everything, whether it's accounting, training focused, or workflow focused, or ways we can really help your agency. Now, one thing you'll see when I click into here is this isn't just a support assistant. Down here, you'll also see all of the other AI tools we have available. So the one I demoed recently was actually a scan. See, I can actually go into here and I can scan any of these items. I could also just type straight into it. I could say, hey, upload this driver's license, or create a driver with this driver's license information. I can select the driver's license right here. I could also, if I don't want to type in, I can just speak with the AI and it will go back and forth. But we can create items off of this. If you do like a PDF document for the commissions, we can actually put you straight into the reconciliations area so you can finish that process. Invoices, we can insert the invoice information into the actual policy. But yeah, I can upload like 5 driver's license and create all 5 drivers instantly. And it will give you those prompts. So you'll see as you start to go through it, AI will go back and forth. It will chat with you. If you like the answers, you can basically upvote them. If you don't, you could dislike them. You can copy the answers. You could even, provide feedback so we can continue to improve all of these things. Now, I won't go through a full demonstration because that takes a little bit more time, confirming the details. Because on top of it, like breaking down through OCR and AI technology what's on the driver's licenses, I could also make adjustments. Like if it didn't pull over the height for whatever reason, whatever it is, I can just say, okay, well, their height's, 6 foot, and it will basically insert it in. But that's how easy we make it. Now, one that's really cool, and I actually do a pretty cool demonstration of, and it's mainly around renewals right now, is we partnered with a company called Sonat. Now, Sonat is great, and it is I would argue leading the AI calls area. I mean, they sound very realistic. There's very little delay within them. And right now, our actual demonstration of it is focused on renewals. So if you get that type of subscription, we can actually tie it to your renewals. So it's calling your insurance for you and actually having them update information, asking them if they have any questions on their renewal, and really teeing that call up to you guys so you guys can properly take care of renewals with as little intervention by your team as possible. But this is really just the beginning. I mean, imagine a interface where we can actually go into here and say, call this insured and ask them if this field is correct. And AI takes that information, gives them a call, and then provides a summary for you. Because within the toolbox right now, we actually have a summary of what the follow-up items are on each and every one of these AI tools. And that's where it's really going to save you time, right? If you look at what you have to do, if we have something very simple, like, hey, you need this form, you have to call this insured to, have them send you this form or sign this form, you could basically just put it on an AI agent and have it keep giving them a call. That way, whenever it finally gets through, it's updated them and you're good. There's no more constant phone tag, no more trying to get a hold of someone. We really did try to simplify this whole process. But we wanted to demonstrate this to you. So if any of you log into here, if you go into the AI platform, and if you don't know how to do that, just go from this main area, go down to Momentum AMP and click on Momentum AI, and then click into the Try Momentum AI, like I showed you. But from there, go to Calls by Agent and just type in, I want you to call this insured. It will then ask you for the details. You can also tell it to retrieve the details if you want it to. We prefer that you keep this as dummy data. One thing to understand is where you don't have the actual subscription with this, you're actually using our number. Now you can absolutely call your client, but as long as you understand that. But what it does is it basically just calls them and it has them update information. So let's go to make a test call real quick because I really want to demonstrate how much this is actually doing for you and how much time it saves you. Please confirm. Yes.
This is Michael from Test Agency. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm calling because it's time for your account review for the upcoming auto insurance renewal. We want to make sure your current insurance coverage is up to date and see if there have been any changes or updates with vehicles or drivers in your household. Do you have a few minutes to go over this?
Yeah, I do.
Great. Before we dive in, I just want to confirm that I have your most current contact information. Is your mailing address still 7537 Year Hialeah FL 331 Steve?
It is, yes.
And is your phone number still 1-819-429-9997?
Yes, it is.
Great. And is your email address still the same?
Yes, it is.
Thanks for confirming that. Now, regarding your auto insurance, have you purchased, sold, or leased any vehicles in the past year?
No, I haven't.
All right. Any new drivers in the household?
Now, I don't want to go over the full thing because I really want to save time for these speakers, but you can see the power there. You could see how I was actually confirming information. And if I would have gave it further actions, like, no, I have this change, it actually would have just queued up a task to me. So I can follow up and the things that I have to do, I can actually take care of. They're just taking care of the easy part. But that shows you the power of the call assistant. Now, the COI assistant, which is equally as great, is trying to simplify the certificate process. And we're taking this from a couple of different fronts. What this tool will actually allow you to do is you can have and select any insured, and you could type in a cert holder. If it's existing, it'll find it. If it's not, it'll create a brand new cert holder. But we can actually send a certificate out just straight from this interface. Imagine you need to get a certificate out. You know the master already exists. You know the wording you have to do. You'll be able to just go into here, type in the information, and it will send that certificate out. Now, right now, it has you confirm the information. It is an early test of it or an early release of it, but it is a powerful tool. And I think it does sort of demonstrate or at least illustrate what we plan on doing, how easy we plan on making everything. AI is going to make it so any type of workflow that would usually take you 13 steps could really become 1 or 2. Well, let's go through a test together on this real quick. So I'll also try to make this one a little bit quicker. Let me just make sure this has a master. Perfect. So now it's going to ask for the certificate holder information. I could just go ahead and grab some test data. And let me grab that email real quick. Now it's going to confirm everything. And I could basically say yes, and it will send out the certificate. Now, obviously, this is one way we're developing this. This is more within a chat interface. Most of you work within emails. Most of you are used to that environment. So we are expanding our capabilities with some of those no development integration platforms like Zapier, or the newest one we started working with is called NAN. And let's go over here and you can basically see the requested cert. So there's the certificate we requested. It looks like the master didn't have much information, but you get the idea there. We're trying to simplify the whole process. We're trying to make it quite a bit easier to have these certificates sent out, and you could test that out for yourself. Now, where I said we're expanding, you can sort of see a general workflow we created on the NAN platform. Again, this is coming to Zapier. We will be adding in that type of AI functionality to our Zapier integration. But NAN, we are going to be exposing nodes. And this really gives you an idea of what you can actually create within house. All without knowing anything development-wise, I'm able to basically connect any of my outside platforms with Momentum. I'm able to use AI agents to really understand and break down that data and enhance my workflows to a level that's really never been seen before. See, what this is this is the first version of what I just showed you. So I can actually go in and I can email this email I created and synced into NAN. What will happen off of this is just like we did from the chat, it's going to enter into this workflow. AI agents are going to break it down, help actually summarize the email and understand what it's requesting. Then we're going to hit the Momentum API and authenticate the user, find the insured. If we don't find the insured, we're actually going to add a label. If we do find the insured, we'll find the master. Again, if it doesn't find a master, it sort of stops there. But after that, we could basically create a new cert holder or use an existing and then update the sender that it was sent out. But this really gives you an idea. So you could basically see it process through this whole thing. But this is really just the beginning. This is actually a very simple workflow for something like NAN or something like Zapier. It is so extremely powerful. And one of the great things is through our automation center, which has been a powerhouse, automating renewals, automating cross-sell capabilities, campaigns, all of these things through the automation center, we are actually building out a window into the NAN platform. So you can actually just keep track of your workflows in here on an AI level and actually share them with the whole team. Now, while I'm on the topic of certs, I do want to sort of give you a quick preview into something that's coming out very soon here. It's our Outlook add-in. Now, most of you have seen this because you've joined our live sessions, and I show this plenty. We've been hinting at this for a while, but Outlook updated their interface, which means they require the add-in. Now, this will be coming to Google extension as well very soon here. But what this actually allows you to do is this allows you to go into here. It will recognize if an email belongs to an insured. We can tag it to policies. We can have it add a note in, tag a certain type, have it create a task, insert any of the files. But obviously, none of that is AI related. But we do have an AI assistant here for this type of extension. And what this will do is this will actually make it so whenever your certificate is ready to, or no, sorry, whenever your email comes into the system, it will scan it. And if it finds that it falls in line with one of these things, like a reminder, certificate request, policy change request, it will actually do an action. It can queue up a pending cert. It can send out a task to your team or notify them. I mean, that's the power of this. Now, we are running very short on time, and I do need to wrap this up. But the last one, and probably one of the most important ones, because it's streamlining so many things within your agency, is if you click on Report Assistant, this is actually your database data. I can go into here and I can say, how many new policies? And I don't have to use a prior prompt. I could type in anything. And this doesn't just have to be something it returns to me verbally. I can have it build a graph. I can have it build a report. So you're probably seeing how with this, we're really changing every single type of workflow within the agency, whether it's reports, certain workflows, change requests, any of this. You have so many different things within here, and we're really trying to simplify every single process for every single agency. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and turn it back to Khurram so he can go ahead and introduce our first speaker. But thank you so much. And if you guys have any questions, I will be in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Caden, for the excellent demonstration. I know we have a lot of questions, so we'll try and get to those. Yeah, at this point, I'd like to give the floor to Craig Kilroy, head of our professional services. So far we've talked about, what AI entails and what we're kind of launching. And I think many of you must be wondering, well, if, we're running a business, we're an agency owner or agents, we're working at an agency, how do we, where do we start? How do we go about it? So I think this is where the next presentation is going to be very insightful. Craig, please go ahead.
Thank you, Khurram. I'm going to share my screen now. And hopefully you can see the cover slide for this presentation that will be made available after the webinar. And so AI for IAs, a practical guide. This is a very deliberate and conscious title for the presentation. As we have been saying on this call thus far, we're adopting a very practical, very common sense approach to the introduction of AI in line with agency processes to simplify the work that you do every day. And we've seen that thus far, and we're going to see that in this presentation also. There's a lot of complexity. There's a lot happening behind the scenes with regard to deliver the solutions that Caden has just presented. From machine learning through computer vision, which provides for document scanning and image recognition, all the way through to reasoning systems that provide for clear and actionable recommendations. There's a lot under the hood, and our job is to simplify and mask that and provide practical solutions to you, such that you don't need to understand the complexity, but we're focused on very actionable, common sense solutions. This slide will be very familiar to all of us, and certainly as a 17-year agency owner, it's very familiar to me. These are the challenges that we face every day. Client expectation challenges. This is an increasing aspect of our business where customers are increasingly looking to communicate with us across a number of channels around the clock. An administrative burden with the need to cater to routine and repetitive administrative tasks. And this is an area that AI is particularly proficient in. And the solutions that you're seeing today are largely geared around automating this activity. Scaling challenge, capacity constraints. We all recognize the capacity constraints that we have within an agency, whether those bottlenecks are quoting oriented, prospecting oriented, or in other areas. The solutions that we're developing and that you will see moving forward will be specifically addressing these bottleneck areas. And then, of course, competitive pressures with direct-to-consumer options. Agencies need to adopt cutting-edge technology in order to deliver a user experience that will allow us to provide the same level of service that some online companies are providing. These are the solutions. Those are the challenges. These are the solutions. We have seen Kadant present these solutions in these areas, from voice in terms of client communication through to the automation of certificates that we just saw. Decision support systems, which we will see in future releases, where AI is actually going to provide us increasingly with value-added advice and recommendations. And then marketing and sales solutions, which we have demoed here, to some extent also available in our CRM. And on our AI page, you will see the concept of AI employee, which is a collection of different AI functionality that in aggregate provides some of the services, performs some of the activities that an AI employee can perform, and we're increasingly building to in that area also. What's next? Well, there's a lot on the way. And one aspect of that is an agentic future, an AI agent-enabled future. And here on the slide, we see the progression from very simple agents through to autonomous agents that will perform activity on the desktop. You'll see in a future slide that we're really looking to incorporate human-in-the-loop integration such that you have control at all times over what agentic AI may do. So limited in this release, but again, more on the way. And so there's great power and great potential in future releases beyond what we've seen here today. This is what you're seeing on the screen right now, a framework for agency evolution. Our managed and professional services group's focus and objective is to help agencies move from where they are currently through to an optimized stage of operations. And the recurring theme as an agency moves from one stage to the next and becomes more effective and efficient is structure in processes, is measurement systems, where the data that is gathered is fed back into the process to improve the process. is performance management generally across process and people. And AI really is the fuel that will accelerate this progression from what might be fragmented processes currently in your agency through to a process framework that is really producing for you, producing results, delivering ROI, and simplifying the activities necessary to conduct a process. So AI basically streamlines this progression and is going to increasingly drive results for agencies that we work with. And our job, again, in management professional services is to simplify this for you and help you move from one stage to the next. I mentioned human in the loop. Here we have a human AI balance in everything that we do and in all of the solutions that you've seen today and will see in the future. We're building ethics, security, and compliance into our solutions. So human in the loop, key, you will always have the option to interject and manage your AI solutions. Data privacy, we take this very seriously. And our data is secure in everything that we're delivering to you. Transparency, you'll have visibility into what AI is doing, just to allay any concerns that our systems basically are designed to provide that also. And then in terms of fairness, making sure that there's no bias in the results that we're providing, we're testing for that to ensure that we provide a very balanced view for any recommendations that we're providing. And the call out here, responsible AI builds client trust and agency reputation, is key. It's certainly key in terms of internal operations processes, but when we're talking to the customer, that's the moment of truth, and AI needs to deliver an excellent experience comparable to what our agency staff are doing. And so we're not releasing solutions until we're at that level of excellence. How do we get started? If your agency is interested in adopting AI broadly, everything that we've displayed is available in the platform. The CRM is another set of AI functionalities, again, also on the AI page at momentum.com. But the Management Professional Services Group can help you get from here to there. So we basically can build a roadmap for you that assesses where you are currently with regard to people, process, and technology, with AI being a significant and increasingly important component of technology. We assess your current state. We work with you to determine a future state vision for the agency, looking out over whatever time frame you're comfortable with. And then we develop a roadmap to get you from here to there. The roadmap is a set of initiatives that are really geared, very practically oriented, and structured such that they take into consideration an agency's capacity for change and are laid out in that way. And we provide this roadmap to you. You can work on it yourself, or you can work with us in order to implement the roadmap in its entirety. Key success factors for implementation. These are going to be true of any initiative that we're looking to change initiative that we're looking to put in place within an agency. So commitment from leadership, absolutely crucial. Readiness of the team. So we want to address any and all questions that your staff may have on AI to ensure that they're comfortable with what we're offering, that they're trained effectively, and that they're ready to fully support the AI functionality that we have in place, utilize that functionality. Performance measurement, we're looking to measure our basic progress through the implementation of AI. This is within the context of the roadmap. And then technology integration, we're looking to ensure that we integrate with other systems that you have in place. We understand that whereas we have an entire suite of Momentum technology, CRM, AMS, our toolbox, our VAs, an entire platform. You may be using non-Momentum technology also, and we want to assure you that we'll be there for you to integrate that technology together so that that provides for a seamless experience. And I would encourage us all to think big and fasten your seatbelts, because there's a lot more on the way. We're delighted to provide this functionality as part of the platform, but stay tuned, because big things ahead, and we're keen to work with you to deliver on the promise of AI in your agency. We're looking forward to addressing questions at the end. Khurram, I know there's many, so I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you for the excellent presentation. At this point, I'd like to pass on the floor to Steve. We're going to really talk about, how do you kind of acquire skills related to understanding AI and how to use it. So Steve, please, floor is yours.
Thank you, Khurram. I've spent my career helping agents understand technology trends, emerging technologies, and I think more importantly, how to use them, why they make an impact. And I've been around long enough to see some major technology shifts over the years. And I do believe AI is one of those, if not the most important shift in technology, especially for independent agents. So, with that, I am developing a course for all of you. So you probably feel like you have a fire hose here. And so what we want to do, and what I'm working on, is creating a step-by-step course that anybody can take to help you, help your staff better understand AI, the ins and outs, and the practical applications of it, whether that's part of the Momentum platform, or frankly, whether that's something else that you want to do within your agency organization. And so, I encourage you to sign up for that. You should have emails and links available to you, and the first modules will be released shortly. So we're working on that right now, getting all of your questions. So thank you for all of that. So we can address those at a deeper level than we're able to do in this time frame.
Thank you, Steve.
And Steve, I think it's important to note these classes will be live and recorded, correct? Or just go into that for a sec.
Yeah, so they will be recorded. We're still playing around whether live, just for scheduling, and we'll have a lot of modules there and a lot of individual lessons, but definitely they'll be available as recorded, so that frankly, we know agents are busy. You've got a lot going on right now, and this will allow you to be able to take the lessons you need. Some of you are further down the journey than others. So you can maybe skip or get some lessons done quickly, and have time to be able to delve into those areas where you feel your skills can be developed in a better way.
Just while the question is coming in real time, Alex, there will not be a cost for the course. This is something we want to deliver at no cost to the agent community to really, help, you get acclimated and learn this ecosystem. So no, it'll be completely free, to Momentum customers. Okay, so I want to make sure we have time for Q&A. So Karam or Stacy,
Yes.
Steve, I just want to make sure you got through your message. Steve Anderson, you good?
I think, I'm sorry, I think I am. I think the one other thing I will say, so when you sign up, register for the course, you'll get a confirmation email, and in that email is a link to a survey. And take the time, it's not very long, take the time to fill out that survey so that you can give us an idea of where you are in this AI journey. And that will have direct impact on what we put together and how we put things together. Because I don't want to just assume everybody's at a certain level. So register, fill the survey out, and you'll be notified when the first module and lessons will be ready.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, so we have a number of questions in the chat which we are addressing, and we may bring some of those into this forum. But if you want to ask a question right now, you can also raise your hand, and we will unmute you and allow you to actually ask that question right now. So please feel free to take that opportunity. And if you don't, then we'll address some of the questions that are in the chat. So there's a question, is there a plan for interoperability with external agents? The short answer to that is yes. Yes, Ashish, go ahead. You have a question? Okay. Yeah, there's some technical questions. I see there's a lot of questions around N8N, so it's great to see that a lot of you have been actually experimenting with that. We definitely want to, expose some of our capabilities in forms of nodes within N8N. So that's something that's on our roadmap. And also interoperability with our existing systems through our automation center, so which actually already is talking to N8N. So that's another integration that is coming. Karen, do you have certain questions here that you want to share with the forum and answer them?
I mean, I've seen a lot of really good questions. I've seen questions based off of how they set up with N8N. And while it is a, I guess, potential partnership, right now there's no partnership put into place. So we're not tying our, we're not just doing one. We're looking at all of them. Like I said, Zapier is doing some amazing things. So I highly recommend looking at that. Most people have already built out Zapier. It's been a staple in the insurance industry for some time when it comes to integrations. I saw some people say make.com, which I'm really interested in seeing because I know they've simplified the process. And then more than that, we do have plans, and I will tease it right now. The automation center plans on being able to integrate with more than just Momentum. I mean, we're really tying a lot over there. The idea is, if we can use AI, if we can create a nice area where you can integrate these items in, you can do so much, because right now the automation center can create your tasks. It can send out emails. It can do all of these actions for you behind the scenes. So if we tie a smart model to it that can teach it and help you build out workflows, I mean, it's just going to be crazy for every single agency. It's going to enhance every single agency here.
And to add to that, the ultimate plan and roadmap is that we plan on being agnostic when it comes to these platforms. Some of you use Zapier, some of you use Make, N8N. I know Zapier recently released their MCP, which is incredibly robust. And we recognize that we have many agencies, and you guys are going to have different preferences as to which integration layer you choose. And our plan ultimately is to be able to be agnostic and communicate with all of them. I see one of you guys posted a comment saying, oh, you're talking to a couple of AI vendors, and that's great. But when you feel you're ready, rather than you building these one-off integrations, we might be talking to them. We might already have integrated with them, or we might be willing to build the integration with them because we recognize that, there's value across our, customer base. So we strongly encourage you to, reach out to us and, and see where that particular workflow is on our roadmap. So there's a lot to do, but we do want to make sure that we are the most open and as open as possible as it pertains to all these different integrations.
So there's a question from Billy Davis. Is there additional cost or add-on, or is this built into the current Momentum platform? I guess that pertains to all of the AI capability. I'll kind of kick that off. So it does not require per se a new subscription, maybe for some of the tools, but there is a usage-based component, as you would know with your experience in AI. So for example, if you are making calls, that will require a subscription with Sonnet. We don't have any platform fee for that. Same applies for, if you're utilizing some tokens. At this stage, where we're not, putting any cost burden on you, you can try that out. But at some point, that is a cost that you have to consider. Just like, ChatGPT after a while will tell you, hey, you're kind of through your limits and you need to come back or wait or have a paid
Karam,
subscription.
I'll give you a different analogy. The way that I would look at it, guys, is think about it like the Apple App Store, right? You already have that. You have access to the App Store. That's free. But there are some apps that very clearly say there are in-app purchases, and you completely have the right and discretion to say, I want to use it or not on a transactional consumption basis. So we have there's a lot of this AI that we're building and we're offering to you guys, and we're not going to charge for it. But there are some that we're involving third-party partners that have a charge, and we will be, passing that along. But it's at your discretion with no long-term contracts, no commitments on a per transaction basis, and you'll have full visibility before you consume it. And we just wanted to make it as bite-sized and digestible as possible. So rather than having to go to all these different vendors and sign contracts, you can consume it through us and just pay on a transactional basis when needed.
Right. So we have a question from Joanna Caballero.
Hi. So my question is, I saw that there said somewhere that it was trained on certain lines of business. Can we see a list of what lines of business it's already trained on?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's basically everyone except life and health, to be honest with you. We really have been building this out behind the scenes for quite some time. So yeah, you won't run into, I actually know why you're asking that, Joanna. It's because of the proposal generator. It's nothing like that. You won't run into any scenario where it throws back, we don't know this. And if it's not trained on a specific thing, I mean, we're answering these questions nightly. We're updating this nightly. So like people will go in and maybe they'll get an answer, like it'll say like, hey, I'm not an expert in this, which this rarely happens now, but the next day they'll go in and it'll actually answer it fully.
And to add to that, I think it comes back with the comments that Michael made earlier that we need, we want to do this together with you. So you'll notice that in all of our AI, chat areas, there is a feedback option. So you can do thumbs up, thumbs down. You can also provide some input. So that's not disappearing in some thin air. We're actually using that input to make the system better. So please do participate in that when you notice that, hey, this doesn't sound like a right answer, or I would have liked to see a different answer. That will make the system better. So we've got that a whole process behind that, making sure that that's incorporated pretty much the next day with these systems. So.
And Kate, and to piggyback off of that, is this going to be able to integrate with the proposal generator at some point as well?
Yes, absolutely. We're actually using AI, I mean, on the development side as well, but we're using it to enhance like everything. I mean, we could basically teach a middle layer everything that we know, and then it could just make development faster. It can make it understanding faster. We don't have to like, if we develop a new feature, we don't have to start from step one like we used to have to, right? We can just funnel all this information in. Like, here's how we work for trucking. Here's how we work for dealerships. Here's how, I mean, everything. It's going to make everything great.
And one last question, I don't know if we covered it, are we gonna get an email to be able to sign up, or do we just automatically go into the AI section and there'll be links for us to sign up for the trainings and the different options?
So I could share my screen again real quick, Joanna. But if we go in here, and I'm just in the automation center, I was just taking down notes. But if we go back into my test agency, from right here, Momentum AMP, just select Momentum AI, and this will actually take you to the landing page within the system. So we have a normal landing page that we'll post that Greg on our team made look really nice, but this is the one within the system. You can go to try Momentum AI, and you will actually be able to start testing out these things. Like, I mean, throw some items in there, have it create drivers, use the reports. I mean, I can't tell you how many times someone comes to me and says, how do I find this report? For a while now, and I've been hinting at it, I've just been able to go into an assistant, an AI assistant, and have it generate that specific report and give it to them. But yeah. And then, did you have any more questions, Sean? I see quite a few more hands raised, so.
No, that was it. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. It's always great speaking with you. Okay, next one, Eric.
Hey, this is Eric. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey, I also wanted to know about two things. One, any potential for outbound voice to utilize that for, calling prospects. And the second question would be, how about the ability to possibly enrich data that we have, and this is in Momentum CRM, enrich data that we have on prospects, going out and checking their LinkedIn and doing certain tasks like that to update it.
So with Momentum CRM, which for the most part I didn't even touch on, if you actually go back to our landing page, right down here we talk about the digital employees. Richard actually does a great job at breaking it down, because Momentum CRM is a white labeled version of Go High Level, which is good because that means you can actually use any of the resources, and they have massive influencers that will actually teach you how they use it efficiently. I think they actually do have prospect calling, if I remember, but when you do prospect calling, there's a lot more rules involved, right? We need to be more careful with it. There's a lot more regulations. So I think it's mainly like confirming off of forms. I can't remember, but behind the scenes, they actually use Eliza, Eric, and it brings so much AI functionality with setting up chat, conversation agents, voice agents. You should have like a full suite of ideas over there. As far as us internally, we could look at exposing it, but it really depends on our partners' capabilities and where we are focused on, servicing. And while we do have some CRM capabilities, and the automation center enhances that, we really want to get focused on servicing and do like renewals, pending cancellations. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, simple changes, being able to just say, hey, I'm missing this field, give this person a call and get me the updated field. I mean, it's going to save so much time.
And it'll also, there are agentic workflows that can check publicly available databases, or even tap into, private third-party data, houses that have proprietary data as well, whether it's, NAICS, NCCI data, or, tapping into, Google and, and other databases. So those are available. And Eric, back to the collaborative point, please, let's schedule time. We're happy to go through the workflow with you. I know, we do have to prioritize, but I know prospecting is a very hot topic, and it's definitely something we're eager to explore with you.
Yeah, and I can use, if it helps, like we also have the Momentum AMS piece in place so we could possibly use that if it makes it easier instead of Momentum CRM.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It would be quite a bit easier. So that'd be awesome. Do you have any more
Well, thanks
questions,
for
Eric?
your help. No, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay,
All
we,
right,
we
next
have
one.
hit the hour mark, so I don't know how many people we have still in the queue, Kaden.
We have two more questions, two more people
Okay,
asking questions.
let's take those two questions, and everybody in the chat, we will get back to you. I know there's some questions about Turbo Raider and a few more that we probably won't get to right now. So please go ahead.
There we go, Dominic. You're currently muted, Dominic. If
Did I raise my hand?
you did raise your hand.
Actually, I mean, I might as well ask a question then. Have we talked about how that works with Agency Zoom?
Yeah, I mean, technically, everything we do will work with our integration partners.
Mhm.
If you look at AI, I mean, technically, we're inserting data. If we're changing data, if the information's being updated, they pull the data from us. Yeah, I've said this before, but because if you look at it with Agency Zoom specifically, we don't technically have an integration with us, right? They have a two-way integration, or we don't have an integration with them. They have a two-way integration with us, which means they push and pull data. And since they're pulling data from us, any change that we make will also update over there, which could launch a set of automations. I sort of correlate it or compare it to, you look at the Automation Center. Technically, right now, the Automation Center does not have the ability to integrate with our AI component. But in a lot of ways, it does because the middle layer is the information being updated. So you have it create a new insured or a quote off of a deck page, right? We just have it scan it and insert everything in. All of a sudden, in the Automation Center, it's recognized that a new prospect was created. Maybe we have a value pass over, and it launches it into a 100-day workflow of emails and tasks. I mean, that's the type of power you have there. So
Yeah, I think, do we have anybody else? We really need to kind of conclude for today.
we have one more.
All right,
Andre.
let's just do one more and then.
It wouldn't be fair. He's waited so long, Karam.
No, of course.
Andre, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's showing Andre. I'm actually Ronnie, but Andre's my business partner.
Okay.
What I wanted to know with the COI with AI, will it include the VIN numbers?
Will it include the VIN numbers? You're talking about like attaching the vehicle?
Yes.
Not right now, but that is on the roadmap. So a lot of basically at some point it will be able to take just as much information that you can give it manually. You know how you attach the vehicles up in the top right? It'll
Mhm.
have that same action. You'll be able to say like include, you know, their full vehicles on a 101. And that's I would argue that's the thing that's so great about AI is you can almost talk to it like it's a 5-year-old and somehow it can like understand and actually, you know, the output is amazing and it sort of learns off of what you do. So yeah, you'll be able to just go in and instantly just throw in a name. You don't even have to type all the words. I watch The Office, so it's like why say a lot of words when small word do trick or whatever.
Mhm.
But you know, it's like that. Like I could literally just say 3 things and it can send out the cert.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. I would like to conclude today's session. Just quick answers to a few last questions I see. Can best practice prompts be listed? Yes, we definitely plan on sharing the knowledge there. And the recording of this webinar will be available to you. We will send it out if you've registered as a participant, you will receive that recording. So you'll be able to listen back. And we will get back to all the people who've actually asked questions in the chat and respond to you, individually. So thank you for your time today. I'd like to thank my panelists and for people who have actually helped to organize this behind the scenes. We look forward to working with you. Thank you and goodbye.